We are creators. We are creators of our lives. We are creators of our spaces. We are creators of our world. We are creators. We can create our everyday moments, the path we wish to follow, and our future, a future that we define for ourselves. So for all of you who'll be going out into the world one day, I want you to know that you, because you are creators, can create a world full of abundant natural resources, where people are well and happy, and where opportunities are everywhere. And all this starts with design. As a designer researcher, I have realized that everything starts with design. Look around. The chairs that you're sitting on, the lighting, the way it hits the floor, and this room, everything was carefully designed. In architecture, we design spaces and buildings that inspire, that bring delight, and ultimately govern how people live their lives. As a researcher, we design our approach, and as an artist, we sketch our ideas. Everything that is designed starts with an idea that is created and developed. Design makes your life easier. Do we realize that we live in a designed world? Everything around us is designed. And because we live in a designed world, we can consciously, mindfully, with intent, design a world that is full of abundant natural resources, where people are well and happy, and where opportunities are everywhere. You see, the world we're living in isn't working. It is full of injustices and hatred, poverty, diseases, depleting natural resources, climate issues, unstable and unhappy people. It is time to design a new world, a new culture, and a new definition of happiness. As a designer and researcher with an MBA degree in sustainability and an architecture and LEED background, I have studied, researched, and learned a lot. Climate change is very real. Our natural resources are depleting, and that too is very real. The amount of carbon that goes into the atmosphere, that too is very real. And I, as a designer, am aware of this, and I design very differently. I am also aware that many people do not realize this. Many people don't know the consequences of living the way we do. So you are the next generation of designers, of innovators, of creators, of scientists, who will go out there and create a world that is based on your ideas, your changing needs, and your culture. It is time to design a new world. These issues are very real. I have a belief that we, as designers, artists, and architects, can use the power of design to empower humanity. Empowered people are the backbone of any society. Empowered people have a desire to make great things happen. Empowered people are aware, knowledgeable, and inspired. So I took this belief with me as I went down the traditional path of working in architecture firms. Yet I did not find my inspiration there. I did not find my answer there. For me, it was missing the human element. So this quest led me to create my own path. There were many struggles and many challenges, yet in hindsight, this all made sense. You see, forging my own path started at a young age when I was a kid growing up in Montreal, Canada. While all the other kids were out there playing in the snow, making snowmen and snow angels, I was making floor plans. In architecture school, while the other students were studying physics, I would be studying the meaning of life. So clearly, my path was one of a lot of soul searching and research. Fast forward 20 years, I found half my answer while working in the transformation of disadvantaged neighborhoods. I was asked to make a century-old triple-decker sustainable. And I did this by making sustainability effortless, because I realized the very people living in these neighborhoods, sustainability was the last thing on their minds. They had bigger life issues to deal with. Simply trying to make ends meet was more important. So I realized sustainability is only a part of the solution. And this research made me look for more. It started with a very vivid, clear image. I was at a street corner in one of these neighborhoods, and at a stoplight, I saw on the side a bunch of kids that were just standing. They were smoking, and there was music blaring in the background, talking. Clearly, these kids had been there for a while, and clearly, they had no intention of going anywhere. It was 11 a.m. These kids needed to be in school. I thought, each one of them has this amazing gift and talent in them, and they don't even know it. And this hit home, because I have 2 young children, and the thought of them with their life wasting away was unbearable. These kids, they were just wasting away on the street corner. I realized the transformation of disadvantaged neighborhoods is not just about the houses or the street corners or the yard sizes. It's about addressing the very issues that affect these neighborhoods. It's about using design to address these issues. It's about transforming their environment to empower them to break these negative cycles. Something had to be done, yes. These negative cycles had to be broken. I learned many life lessons on this project. Life is hard, full of struggle. Yet in the end, we're all humans looking for happiness, well-being, and purpose. This led me to create the New Conscious Culture. So in my design practice, I use these principles to guide me. Number 1, the New Conscious Culture. Number 1, sustainability, responsibility, well-being, purpose, and potential. It was about designing for the full human, their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. It was about designing an environment to help them grow and succeed. This was the human-centered approach that I was looking for all along. And because I could not find it anywhere, I created it. It was about having a new design approach to address today's times, to address today's issues. The New Conscious Culture, the Big 5. Number 1, sustainability. Everything that is designed needs to be sustainable. Climate change is very real. Our past winter is an excellent example. It was the warmest winter worldwide recorded. So, our lack of skiing and sledding is nothing compared to the many plant and animal species that are losing numbers due to disappearing habitats and ecosystems, and this is vital to human existence. What kind of a world are we leaving our children? Will they have enough water, resources, or energy to survive? And this leads to responsibility. We have to be responsible for the choices and decisions that we make towards a sustainable future. From large corporations to everyday families to us, the time is now to be responsible. Profit is just as important as our planet, our people, and purpose. Number 3, well-being. Well-being is vital for humans to thrive. Well-being is not just about health and fitness, it's about having this mind-body balance to deal with the stresses of today. It is about being conscious of our everyday environment, of the toxins in our everyday environment, our products, and even our technology. Are we aware of the potential radiation from Wi-Fi and cell phones that may affect our well-being? Number 4, purpose. Purpose makes life fulfilling. There are many purpose-driven companies now that are finding solutions for today's problems. Potential. I realized that each one of us has this amazing gift and talent within us. Can you imagine if we all went out into the world with our amazing gifts and talents? what an amazing world this could be. So I took these 5 elements in New Conscious Culture and I brought it back into the Triple Decker project. And I also addressed 3 main issues that affect disadvantaged neighborhoods. Number 1, substandard education. Number 2, unstable family life. And number 3, inadequate housing. I redesigned the Triple Decker to make it energy efficient, modern, sustainable, non-toxic, and I did this through low-cost, no-cost solutions, building materials, a new layout, and designed elements within this layout. After this, I focused on the kitchen, because the kitchen is the heart of the home, and the kitchen table is where family life happens. It's where kids are doing homework, while mom or dad is cooking. It's where conversations are held, and my meals are eaten there. So I designed the kitchen around the kitchen table. I then addressed education, knowledge, and potential by designing built-in bookshelves and a desk. And then I also had this room closed off. It could close off to become a quiet room or a hobby room. So now there was a place and a purpose. I, as a designer, was putting forth the importance of education, knowledge, and purpose by intentionally designing for it. I then created the achievement wall, and this is where families could celebrate little victories, a test grade, a hand-drawn picture, or even a family dream. I wanted to make their house a home that empowered them towards their future, towards betterment, to give them focus, and to live towards their full potential. And this leads me back to the street corner, and those kids, and my kids, and ultimately myself. I learned many lessons on this project. The biggest one I learned was, yes, even though it is so important to go out there and design a world that is sustainable, well, and flourishing, it is not as important as designing our own world. When we are not empowered, we are limited. I realized I had to redesign my own world. You see, I was living in a culture where I simply went with the flow, did what everyone before me did. Didn't speak up, went against my gut feelings, and often struggled to find my own definition of happiness. So I did this by rediscovering myself. I picked up a paintbrush and a canvas after 20 years. This was me getting back to my roots. So during this time, I painted an art collection called The Art of Conscious Living. It was about rediscovering ourselves and about being mindful to the beauty of our everyday world. This is my favorite painting. It's called The Thrill, New York City. It was about rediscovering ourselves, and I realized this doesn't have to happen on mountaintops or enlightened caves or even yoga studios. It happens in our everyday lives. It is what stirs our soul. The energy of New York City stirs my soul. Another painting, In Full Bloom. This is when I realized I had to reconnect to myself. What does it mean to live in full bloom? That's you living your best life. I also became mindful of my environment, of who and what I surrounded myself with. I redesigned my spaces. I made them simple, mindful, sustainable, creative, and empowering. Yes, I learned many lessons, life lessons on this project. Yet, what's really interesting is that the New Conscious Culture, the Big Five, actually taught me profound life lessons. Yes, we are sustainable. We have everything that we need within us to be happy. We have the courage, the grit, and the resilience to face life's problems if we are connected to our true self. Number 2, we are responsible. We are responsible for ourselves and the world around us. Number 3, well-being. Well-being is something that we are responsible for ourselves. Ultimately, no one else is responsible for us but us. How we nourish our mind and body, that is up to us. how we find the quiet in today's busy world, that too is up to us. Number 4, we all need to have purpose in our lives. Purpose is what makes life fulfilling. Be it a musician whose music touches many lives. Be it a doctor who can hold a patient's hand knowing that she has saved their lives. Purpose is what makes life fulfilling. For me, purpose is putting out this new notion of a new conscious culture, because I think it's really needed in our world today. And because I have 2 young children, I want them to live in a better world. Can you imagine artists, musicians, innovators, athletes who can get into their element, their zone, where time and space don't matter? They are living their true potential. There are many people who are examples of living their life towards a new conscious culture. Leonardo DiCaprio is one such example. He's a great example of sustainability, purpose, true potential, and responsibility. He is a well-known and respected actor of today's times, but what is more commendable is the fact that he is pledging his own money towards sustainability solutions. He is a great advocate for preserving our earth. Today, there are many, many young people out there who are going out into the world, who are living their true potential. They're breaking negative cycles, creating new positive ones, finding solutions for problems big and small. They're using social media, technology, and their passions to create their own businesses. Today, there are many opportunities that exist and resources that exist that never existed before. There are many young people leading the way. It is clear that we're moving towards a purpose-driven society, and I, as a designer, will go out there and design for this new conscious culture. You are at the forefront of this movement. Go out into the world and be sustainable, because Mother Earth is the only Earth we have. Be responsible for yourself and the world around you, because ultimately, we are all connected. Remember, the new conscious culture is in your hands. Go and create your world, because you are all creators. We are all creators. Thank you.